What is up, guys? This is Ray from Rated R Reviews, and this is going to be an explanation to the ending of the movie Higher Power. Okay, now Higher Power was an earlier movie that came out, I believe, against Infinity Wars when it came out in China. It came out, I believe, March 11th, well, no, May 11th, excuse me, May 11th. It's another superhero genre movie where well, I made a whole review about it. I'll link in the description below. It's an interesting movie. It's a superhero movie. A man pretty much becomes like a god, and I really enjoyed the movie. But this is an explanation for the ending because one or two people who I know saw the movie, they were like, "What? I don't get it." So, brief description of the last 20 minutes of the movie, which I really truly love the last like 20 minutes to half an hour of this movie. This gentleman named Joseph Stedman. Um, they've been trying to bring out this power in him that they know that his body can handle, and they installed in him through this government experiments and whatnot, and they've been trying to force him to bring it out through his emotion, through his fear, through his anxiety, through his true pain of losing his wife, of losing his daughters. Now his daughters aren't dead, but they're estranged from him. So he's alone, he's lonely, he's in pain, but he wants his family back. Okay, so the ending for this movie, Higher Power, it's you can obviously tell it has a very deep and emotional meaning, and it's very comic book like, over the top, cosmic ending. It's well, he's in the warehouse, like I said before. With his daughter, he's kind of like just like glowing in this white bluish light, in this light, and they pretty much put a bullet through his daughter, and he starts to overreact with his anxiety and fear and anger, and he pretty much murders the other person who kills his daughter. And then they show him images in his brain with his other daughter that's on the other side of town. And while he's holding one daughter that's dying in his arms, they put a bullet in the head of his baby girl. And his baby girl being like 20 something or 21 years old. And he just completely flips out. Now, while all this is going on, while he's in the warehouse and escaping from police and becoming this phase of a god or whatever, millions of light years away, there's a star that's collapsing, and dispersing radioactive waves of sunlight, actually destroy other planets. So one of those waves is aimed directly to Earth. Now this was calculated and figured out by one of the people who, that's how you kind of find the big twist of it. The boyfriend is the person, the genius who figured all this out, on what's going to happen to the Earth, by what time it's going to happen, and what he needed to get together to create this god to try to protect the rest of the world. Okay, but he's the one who killed the god's daughter, or the higher power's daughter, and the higher power had to pretty much kill him. So, like I said, it's a bit much to the ending. It's very, very over the top, very outlandish, but I love the ending because some movies just wouldn't have gone there. You know what I mean? So in this retrospect, after the higher power sees both his daughters get murdered, he just explodes in this force of anger. But he doesn't like explode like he destroys everything in his wake. He like starts forming himself around the buildings and the people and the cities and the cars and everything that's around him. And as the camera starts to pan further and further back, you see that he's actually forming himself around the entire planet Earth. Because, well, there's no reason, because that's just how the writers wanted the freaking thing to go about it. But then you hear the main villain, who was always in Joseph Stedman's head as a microphone chip that they planted in his head. Now he himself is actually in his head, in Joseph Stedman's head, as the higher power, because now Earth is pretty much encapsulated as a brain inside this godlike skull, or this godlike face. and it's just floating there in space. Like his body is growing in a bluish light, as I said, and he's expanding larger and larger into the universe. And again, like I said, the Earth is in the place of where the brain is in your own body. So and the special effects look great. I mean, in my opinion, they look amazing. They kind of simplistic with the blue light around the planet and everything, but it looks so cool and epic. You know, like they put the money in the right place for a low budget sci-fi movie, you know? And, well, mind you, the higher power has no idea about the freaking radioactive wave coming to destroy Earth. He just encapsulates the Earth because he doesn't know what to do, and he's stuck in his memories. So, like I said, the planet is like his brain. The voice in his head is now the actual villain, caught up in these electrical synopses that are connected throughout the entire city, where the villain is caught up in. And he comes out and he goes, "Joseph, I know you can hear me, Joseph. I know you can hear everything. I know you can see everything. You can do anything. You have to do what needs to be done to save us," and blah 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 blah. He goes off on a little bit of a thing like that. So, you see the glowing white eyes in the middle of space as a blue face appears with the planet behind the blue face, and you see the radioactive wave coming to the blue face, and it starts like absorbing it and attacking it, and he starts kind of like knocking him back a little bit in space. So you can tell it's a very powerful wave. And all of a sudden, Joseph, as this godlike human or being, or godlike being, he starts remembering things that his dead wife used to tell him. She said, "Once I'm gone, no matter what happens, take care of our girls. Take care of our girls. Promise me that you will take care of them." And then there, at the very second, you see his white light and waves and everything, and the things that are kind of like intense and frustrating. You see his eyes, or the eyes of the god, in the middle of space, and he goes, "I promise." Then all of a sudden, there's like this epic pan back of a blue man standing in a white light, and he's just in the middle of space, and this wave is hitting him in his chest and arms, and he's just absorbing everything. He's kind of like knocking everything back, and all of a sudden they cut some memories of him with his daughters, hugging them, and him and his dead wife, and he's hugging her and holding each other's hand on the beach, and they're picking rocks off a beach and everything, and he's remembering the good times with his daughters, the good times of the family, the purpose of life. He's remembering it. Even though he's this powerful being now, he kind of looks like Dr. Manhattan, if anybody realizes. But he brings his daughters back to life, and he puts them on that very same beach that he remembers. And now they're alive in his mind as a god on that beach, because now they're pretty much in his memory, but they're actually alive because he brought them back. Now, that's the basic gist of the ending, which I think is a beautiful ending, because he now became this final phase of a higher being, a higher power, a god, quote unquote. And the earth is his brain, his memory, his everything now. And yet he brought back his daughters to be on the same beach. So maybe he brought back the entire world in a way. We don't know. Maybe, hopefully, there'll be a part 2 to explain a little bit more about that. Or maybe his power is temporary, and maybe he dies off as he saves other people. I believe he doesn't die off at all. I believe he's just there. But it's just a great, epic ending that's kind of closed, kind of open at the same time, because it leaves you with some questions. Hopefully they make a part 2, like I said. And yeah, he becomes a god, saves his kids and family, and that's about it. So, guys, check out the movie The Higher Power. One or two people I know saw it, and they're like, I don't like the drama in the beginning, blah blah. I think the ending kind of saves the rest of the movie. I did like the movie. It's not great. It's not perfect. It's not whatever. But yeah, that's the explanation. That's the best explanation I can come up with for the ending of this movie as I understood it. And I watched the movie twice, and I kind of analyzed it the second time better than I did the first time. So yeah, check out the movie A Higher Power. I'm sure all sci-fi geeks and everyone would love the last half hour of this movie. If you're a drama queen or drama king, you'll love the first half of the movie. But the final act I really loved. All right, so this is Ray from Rated R Reviews. Peace.